Using credit cards isn't bad, you just have to know how to do it right. Here are some tips on how to use credit cards for good and for your benefit. I'm going to hit you with a disclaimer here. Don't do this unless you're out of debt. And I say that because this is really easy to get out of hand if you are not watching what you're doing and you're not planning it down to the T. You really have to manage your money when you're doing this. It's really easy to go into debt, like quicker than you even realize. So just make sure that you're not setting yourself up for a bad situation. Step 1, you are going to set up a separate checking account just for bills. When you're paid, you're going to send your bill money to that account, and then you are going to pay your credit card from that account. Next, you're going to write out all of your fixed expenses for the month. These are all of your bills with due dates. If it's a bill that changes from month to month, like maybe your electric or your water, use a high bill when you're calculating this. That way you're overestimating. This does not include groceries, gas, or any of your variable expenses or discretionary spending. This is just for your bills. You're going to take that fixed expense number and you're going to divide it by the amount of times you're paid in a month. So if you're paid monthly, it's just that whole sum that you're going to be sending to your bill account. If you're paid bi-weekly, you're going to divide it by 2. If you're paid weekly, divide it by 4. Once you get that number, you will know that when you're paid, you're going to have to send that amount of money to your bill account. Then you're going to switch all of your bills over to your credit card, and then you will pay off that credit card with the bill account money that you're putting in your bill account. There will be some bills that you may not be able to put on a credit card, like your mortgage. If that's the case, then subtract that out of all this. You're going to have to pay that separately. The key here is that you want to learn what is your statement date for that credit card because you want to pay off that credit card before the statement date. If you don't, it's going to get reported to the credit bureau that you have that balance, and it's going to make your credit score go down, at least temporarily. Since you're sending money to that account every check, you should have the money to pay it off by the statement date every month. You can even set up auto pays if you want to, if that helps you, to auto pay from your bill account to your credit card. In my opinion, this process is only really worth it if you have a credit card that gives you some type of rewards, like a cashback card or a travel rewards card. That means that you are getting a certain percentage of your purchases back either in cash or travel rewards. You can get things like free flights. You can do travel hacking. There are Facebook groups and stuff for that. But some type of reward card that's going to give you rewards for using that card. I want to reiterate that you need to track this carefully. Do not lose track of what you're spending on this credit card because, like I said, it is really easy to put yourself in some debt. Also, do a little research to make sure that you can get a cashback or travel rewards card before you go on an applying spree. That's what I don't want you to do. Do not go apply to 10 different cards. That's going to really hurt your credit score and it's going to make it less likely for you to be able to get a card. If you cannot get a credit card right now, you can look into secured cards. And what that means is that you basically put down a deposit, like $300. My very first secured credit card was $300. I gave the bank $300. They gave me a credit card with a $300 limit. And when I showed for a few months that I was responsible with this, they gave me my deposit back. So that is a good way to kind of get into credit cards. But like I said, don't go on an applying spree. Do research. Make sure that you can get the card before you apply for it. Some banks also have tools that you can kind of do a pre-qualification that's not going to hurt your credit score, but make sure it says this is not going to affect your credit score because those inquiries that you get by applying, they stay on your credit for 2 years. If you have a strong plan in place, you have a good way to track this, and you have a good way to get one of these good cards that's going to benefit you, then you can do really well. If you're not at a place yet where you can make this happen, that's okay. Just know that this is an option eventually. You do not have to do it right now. Let me know if you have any questions. You got this, friend.